few weeks ago, a good friend of mine came to me with a question that I feel is common amongst many golfers, but not one that is easily resolved. What clubs would I recommend as long iron replacements? And as ever, my answer was a simple one. Get custom fit and try as many options that could be the best solution for you. As you can see, Damian is a good golfer with a handicap of 16, but what you're about to find out is at the end of this process, he shot the lowest round of his life on his home course. So the question is, what happened, what clubs were the best option, and what score did Damian shoot? Our audience understand your dilemma, and I do too, and we've all been there. I think that long end of the bag is the toughest part of the bag to get right. So we want a little bit more, I think we lose a bit of clubhead speed, get maybe 20 years ago, maybe 3 and 4 iron we can cope with, bit of clubhead speed loss, but also maybe a bit of consistency out of the options that we can look at. All I want to know at this stage, we did the custom fit 3-4 weeks ago. Prior to that, what did you have in mind as to what you wanted to look at as perhaps an option?
Probably the 7 wood.
Yep.
7 wood. It looks a bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
And I've seen many others use 7 woods to good effect, and I'm thinking actually that could help me.
Yeah, and it's a logical move.
Yeah.
So what we did, we took a trip down London, and we spent a few hours in a custom fit studio, and the first thing we went to was the 7 wood, and we'll take a look at what happened and where Damian ended up with the clubs that we've got in the bag today out on the golf course 3 weeks later.
If I can find you a club that can carry 195 to 200, and that could be potentially a 7 wood, it could be a 4 hybrid, but whatever you decide to do at the top of the bag, we need to get the landing angle down.
Right, okay.
We need to get the ball to use gravity to stop, because you're never going to rev it up like an 8 iron or a 9 iron to get it to stop on the greens. So we need help from gravity.
Yeah. Now, as with any good custom fit, we need a barometer to work from, and we started by collecting data for Damian's 5 iron. This was to establish what distance we were working from, as this was to be Damian's longest iron in the bag. With data collected, the suggestion was to try a 7 wood, which was Damian's perception of what would be the right choice. And although he struck it really well, it was soon realised that although the club offered a different ball flight from that of the 5 iron, it did actually cover exactly the same distance. Lesson learned: if Damian bought this club off the shelf without custom fit, he just wasted a whole lot of wonga. So we quickly moved into a 5 wood and saw immediate results in a combination of both launch angle, ball speeds, descent angle, and a carry distance that filled a gap. Damian, or Damo as I prefer to call him, had his first weapon of choice. But how does it fare out on the golf course in the real world? Oh, that might be your best today. What a shot that is. That's a golf shot.
Thank you.
I can't get over your rhythm. I keep saying it, I know it's boring, but that is, the tempo's fantastic, mate. So Damo, basically you just said off camera something I found really interesting. That strike there, you said it wasn't your best, it was a tad heavy.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting.
Yeah, it's still gone. It's still gone over 200, and you know, had that been a 4 iron, I tried to get up, I wouldn't have got anywhere near there.
Yeah.
You know, so even without a pure strike, I've managed to go significantly further than what I would have done with a fluff 4 or 5.
And I think that's key, and goes back to that first question we started with. What are the sort of alternatives? It's not about what is, you know, if you're bang on with your 4 iron, you're a great iron player.
Yeah.
But if something like that happens and you just catch it a tad heavy, then you're seeing massive losses where you get away with it a bit with these type of clubs.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's been the game changer for me. It really has. And when you get results like that, it just instills an awful lot more confidence.
So when you're sort of, that's a 5 iron.
Yeah.
What do you see in the 5 wood first of all? Is there anything visually that gives you confidence?
Yeah, it feels easier to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got belief in the club.
Well, that's a big word. Yeah. That's massive.
Yeah, I've got belief that I can get there.
Yeah.
And without trying to kill it.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just a nice smooth swing.
Yeah.
And keep my head down. And just a natural swing, I can get it.
I always say, I mean, I look at that and it's a beautiful iron. This is a 5 iron, by the way. And I look at that and I've got, you know, confidence in my irons, but then I always think it's just a bit of bulk behind the ball that gives me the confidence to do what you said, the belief that I don't have to do a great deal.
Yeah.
And things can work out, you know, half decent for me. Well, let's see with one of these, let's hit the 5 wood then and see what it's doing when the pressure's on.
So what we got here, we got probably...
You're playing 200 into the breeze. It's going to be I mean, I don't think you'll get there now, so we're just a little bit further back. But let's just see what it does. And
okay. Just so short, I think.
It seemed a really good strike.
Yeah.
I must admit, I didn't see I was behind the camera. So where's it sort of ball flight and stuff? How would you describe the shot?
Yeah, it was just left side, reasonably lower. I brought it slightly back.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to keep it a bit lower.
Yeah.
But it was penetrating. It went off really well off the club.
And again, you know, it's that iron alternative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's try one more ball then.
Yeah,
just try a regular swing, pop it up in the air, see if we can give a...
Right. We'll play this a bit, hopefully a bit higher. We'll just see.
Oh, superb. That's a tremendous ball. I mean, look at the ball flight on that. That's pretty much as I predicted. You've come up maybe about, I don't know, 15 yards short of the green, so that's gone 200 plus into the breeze, still with that higher ball flight.
Yeah.
Because what's the interesting thing is when you go and get custom fit, what you'll find is you'll get a balance between the shaft I'm referring to now. You'll have a shaft that works for you in a way that it still launches the ball in the kind of the way you want it to, but it won't go to spin to a ridiculous situation where a shot like that into the breeze would just hover with the wrong shafting and head combination. That shot there just hovers, spins too much and comes down. That ball is still going through the air.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I've noticed since I've been using the 5 and the 5 utility, it's so much more penetrating, the ball flight. It's as if it's like got an extra gear.
Yeah.
As if once it goes, I used to see it like then holding and stopping.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just penetrating through. And I've never hit woods like this.
Yeah, and that, like you said, as much as you know, there's loads of tech in the head and it's all working for you, ball speeds are doing it, you've got to get that combination of shaft and head.
Yeah.
And that's where the custom fit came in handy.
Yeah.
And then if you go back to the sort of reference, I know you know that the 7 wood didn't work out, and that's because, again, those characteristics just didn't match up in terms of where Damian wanted to fill that gap. So it's hugely important that you go through that process or you don't end up with this kind of setup that Damian's ended up with. But that's a great shot. We've seen a couple of good ones with the 5 wood. I'd just like to move into that 5 hybrid. Sure. Explain why you chose that and then maybe see what it does out here on the fairways.
Okay.
And perhaps did you a bit of an injustice there saying it wasn't able to reach. That was the first ball, the lower flighted.
Yeah.
That went into the bunker. So you've played that. That's over 200 into the breeze.
Yeah.
So, one club sorted that drops in behind Damian's 3 wood, but he also wanted another gap in the bag to be filled. $185.
Bang on.
Bang on.
Yeah. And as you can see, the decision was very quick and straightforward. From the minute he picks up this club, you can see the freedom in his swing, and he is hitting darts right now. That is one happy golfer.
Look how quickly that stops with a hybrid. I'm really happy with that. We don't need to do this anymore.
Thanks for that. Was really helpful. Really, but so interesting.
How does it feel? I mean, all jokes aside, does it?
Yeah. Just it's all about feeling confident, but the weight. It's just the result.
Lovely shot shape. Beautiful. Where did we get to with the 5 hybrid? Where was that a choice?
Because we were looking at sort of gapping between. I was explaining that I was like struggling from like 170.
Yes. To
like 220.
Okay.
Yeah, because like my 3 wood, I can knock 220.
Yeah.
But it's just that in between.
Yeah. So your 5 wood was your one back from your 3.
Yeah.
That's your first gap.
First one.
And then you were looking at 170 to 190 really.
Yeah, so it was like every place like basically a 5 iron, 4 iron.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you end up with 5 hybrid.
Yeah.
But I notice you've still got your 5 iron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've just pulled this ball back a little bit so we can set up a situation. But you've got, again, I would say this is quite a big ask. You're looking at 180 uphill. So, if you get there, all well and good, but don't try and knock the stuffing out of it. Just keep it nice and easy.
Okay.
That's a super strike. Tremendous. Well, again, it's just pulled up short of the bunker.
Yeah.
But a really good dig. And I think, again, yardage-wise, so I just snuck off to record that, but I didn't get round to it, so hence the camera in my hand. But that was, so if you can see the 150 marker over there, I think we're probably playing, it's probably back as 190 uphill. I think you're probably at that 180 yards again.
Yeah.
What I love about it is just how easy you hit the ball and how smooth the swing was. So just explain to me on the numbers then, your 5 iron is still in the bag, because again, often people get confused with a 5 hybrid would replace a 5 iron.
No.
That's not the case, is it?
No.
So this would have replaced your 4 iron?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Sure.
And you're finding more confidence with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Really, it's been a game changer, and it's been a game changer for me in terms of the confidence of facing a difficult shot such as that 190, 200, 180 up the hill.
I think it's the hardest shot for the average golfer. I think that kind of shot, especially we just played that off the fairway, a tight lie.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're picking up a 4 iron, it's a little bit concerning, and I do think it's the hardest shot to play for us.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. What I like about it is your tempo with this club as well. I've seen you play it a few rounds now. That's spot on. And you're swinging easier is what I notice. You don't seem to be, with all due respect, sometimes you can go a bit too quick.
Yeah.
And I think you seem really slow in your tempo.
It's the confidence, and that makes a massive difference to me.
Right.
In terms of results.
Yeah.
If I'm confident and I've got decent tempo.
Yeah.
I normally get good results.
Yeah. No, that's superb.
When I start to struggle,
it's great to watch, but it really is.
Thank you.
So, Damian, I've seen enough good shots of yours to last me a lifetime, to be honest with you, so we'll quit there. I just want to talk about something that's happened in recent weeks. I've seen you hit a lot of shots with this, but a few weeks back at your home course, we had a good friend of ours go around with you and tell everybody what you scored.
I shot a gross 76.
Okay.
4 over. And
where does that sort of fit in your sort of the grand scheme of things for you personally?
I called it my best round by 5 shots.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, yeah.
And your handicap?
16.7.
Yeah. Don't tell the committee that, and hope to God they're not watching. And I dread playing him next time round. But I think, and obviously we're not attributing all of that to your new 5 wood and 5 hybrid, but you did mention something which I thought was very relevant as to how you're playing golf right now.
Yeah, it just, provided massive confidence in terms of overall play, not just with my irons, but with the hybrids and the 5-wood in particular. So just in terms of course management. But it's having that confidence and having that belief and the anticipation of getting back to the course and try and hit those shots again.
Well, that interested me in the car park as we were getting set up. You mentioned something again about wanting to get out there.
So it's really a bonfire. It really has to get out there and start playing again. And I just wish I'd done the custom fit an awful long time ago. It would have made a massive difference.
That's good to hear. And like I said, we will finish it there. I dread playing Damian next time at Caldy because of that, whatever it is, 16 handicap. Life is going to be tough. But I'm pleased for you. I'm pleased it's going well. I'm pleased that the process worked. I'm pleased you didn't buy something straight off the shelf because you'd have possibly gone with a 7-wood and it would have been a wrong decision. So the message will always be the same on this channel: is affordability wise, if you know, aside, then if you can afford to go and get custom fit, then you've got to do it, because it's an investment that you have to make sure that you commit to, and make sure you get the right clubs that fit your swing. It's very much an individual game, this, and that shaft head combination, getting it right, can pay huge dividends in the long term. That's it. Thanks to Damian for taking part. Thanks for you for watching. We're all done here at Portal, and I will see you all very soon.